So are the techniques that I like to use to play this kind of feel. So either just German shifting to the wrist, or push-pull playing. Instead with the feet, we can either play double strokes with one foot. I personally use the slide technique to play the double strokes because it gives a lot of power and volume to the second stroke. And I like that better than heel toe or other techniques to play double strokes. That's just my personal, choice. But you can also use the double pedal or double bass drum and just play kind of a phlegm between the two strokes. So that will also, of course, give a lot of power. It's maybe a little bit harder to have the notes all perfectly even, but practicing will just make it perfect. So you can just practice in both ways or one of the two ways that you prefer. Another way to play this is playing 4 strokes with our feet and then 2 strokes with our hands. So something like. So also here, it's the same effect. Maybe it's this one is a little bit harder to coordinate because it's easier to play 4 strokes with your hands rather than with your feet, but same concept. So just practicing it, you will master it. Also here, when I play this slow, of course I use the bigger muscles, so leg motion and arms. The more I speed this up, the more I shift to ankles. So same thing as before, figuring out the technique. I really use only arm motion with my hands because it's just gonna be 2 notes each time. But instead with my feet, I will shift from legs to ankle motion. Of course, in both cases, you can become very creative and shift, move your hands around and have different sounds. Instead of just playing, each time on each thumb or both hands on the same surface. So you could create variations like this. Okay, so there are many solutions already that you can use. Same thing with your feet. You can either use other stuff on your feet or just move your hands on top of that, so creating something like this. Okay, the options are limited with only 2 strokes, but still you can become creative and add this with other linears that you're doing and stuff like that. So expanding your vocabulary, playing using only one sticking and one lick. So it's very good to have one thing and have more solutions so that you can keep changing and stop and not repeating yourself too much. Another way that we can change this is to play, for example, change the sticking completely. So for example, playing hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, hand, or foot, hand, foot, foot. So something like this. Okay, and also here, we can shift this around the kit to create other sounds. So something like this. Okay, so also here, the technique that we can apply to play this is, since all the notes are pretty separated from each other, you can use bigger muscles even if you're playing very fast, without having to go too much into technique. The hard thing, of course, is to play the notes even and keep a good sound when you speed this up. So put the main of focus on that. But it's good to learn a sticking and then have that tools. It's like learning a word for your vocabulary or a sentence that you can use every once in a while when you're playing something in between something, and you can alternate. And we already have 4 different solutions, 4 different stickings playing on the same amount of notes. And from these 4 solutions, we can find at least another 12 or 16 solutions, changing the sounds, changing, where we're going to position and what we're going to hit.